Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grandpa Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite, he's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that hunt. They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls, it's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this is the Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. Duke still sucks.
Toby with a high fly ball to left.
I'd say he will.
How about one run? Make it 3. Oh my word! Kobe Mayo clears the fountains into the Power and Lake District.
Welcome into the Friday Baseball Show. This is Stan the Fan. I'm here with Griffin Bass, and we are doing this time slot every Friday, the Friday Baseball Show. But
that was courtesy of Masson, by the way. We should say that.
That was courtesy of Masson.
That was last time
Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald on the call.
Yeah.
We just saw
Kobe Mayo on the home run.
We just saw Kobe Mayo hit 2 prodigious home runs in Kansas City. Could that unlock the real Kobe Mayo?
Maybe.
Or is what we've seen for the last
You're saying
will
the real Kobe Mayo ever please stand up?
That's what we're talking about. But let's interrupt baseball talk for just a couple minutes.
What? I was told this is the Friday Baseball Show.
I know it's the Friday Baseball Show, but when events warrant, such as the NFL Draft, we will detour from baseball briefly to mention that the Ravens' first round of their draft is in the books, and they did draft, as most projections had them taking, the guard from Penn State, Vega.
There you go. Nailed it. You got it.
Aliva Venga Oani.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Ioane.
Nice. You did it. Nice. Yeah.
Aliva Venga
Ioane.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, good job, Stan.
Very solid pick. I think.
People need to know you were working really hard to get that. You nailed it.
I went to bed. Couldn't think of it. Anyway, Vega is the pick. Not the sexiest pick in the world. You know, I was hoping they were going to go with the tight end, but
I was glad they didn't.
You were.
Yeah, I was glad they did not.
You just think they had to.
I just think they. I mean, I think we talked about it last week, but yeah, I mean, I just think they
couldn't fool around.
Yeah,
with the
I think
line.
Bain fell there. I didn't think Ruben Bain was going to be there, so I really wanted Bain, and I still kind of really want Bain, but also, it was a need, and this is by far the best guard in the draft, and it feels like by all accounts is a can't miss type of pick right here.
He's a solid 7-8 year guy.
Yeah, he looks like he's 10 times better than Daniel Faalele, so I'm
right.
I cannot be mad at it by any means.
No, not mad at all. And that leads. What time does tonight's draft start? Does it start 7?
Yeah, I believe it's 7.
Okay, 7 o'clock. The Ravens will be on the clock at 45, I believe, right?
Yes.
And 82? 45 and 82 or 83?
90? Was it 82 or 90?
I think it's 82
Is it 83?
or 83.
Okay, I mean, yeah, either way. But
anyway,
they're scheduled to have 2 picks tonight.
What do you think? Do you think they go? In your opinion, tonight is it defense with the first pick, and then maybe a tight end, or back to defense, and then the center is tomorrow?
kind of depends, I guess, who's there at 45. Is there a guy they really like, and they have 8 picks tomorrow? Yeah, 8 picks for Saturday. So, I mean, do they want to find a way to stockpile those and maybe something
even
else?
add something.
Yeah, and pick up another pick for tonight, because I like because the edge rusher, who I don't think would be there at 45, just because he's an edge rusher, Zion Young from Missouri, who I like. He'll probably go really early.
He'll probably
tonight.
go in the first 5 to 8 picks.
Probably,
tonight.
yeah. But so if he's not there, I would kind of like receiver. There's a lot of mid-round, or I shouldn't say mid-round, but early round day 2 receivers.
But you think we'll go D-line with the first edge rusher?
No, it depends what's on the board. I think it very much depends on the board, because I mean, yeah, you're right. Like they love defense. Obviously, have a defensive-minded head coach, and they just took an offensive lineman with their first pick, so I'm sure he's itching to get another new toy, another weapon. So I mean, yeah, we'll see. I think at this moment, if they're staying pat at 45. I think I would like them to go receiver, but I don't think I could be that upset if there's a defensive player that they really like there.
Edge rush.
And I think they should address center, I think, before the end of the night as well, with that, that
You
that
think
round
they're
3
going to
pick.
take the center tonight?
I think so, yeah.
the center's the first pick tomorrow.
I just don't think you're getting a starting caliber center tomorrow, though. That's the. I mean, and it
You
very well
think
may be a
both
guy that
Slaughter-
starts anyway.
you
I think
think-
it's a guy that may start anyway if they don't address it until tomorrow. But I think you're getting a much better player if you draft him tonight.
You think Slaughter goes in the third round?
Yeah.
And the guy from what's the guy's
I think
name
there could
from
be
Iowa?
4 of them. There's like 4 of them that could go.
What's
tonight.
the guy's name in Iowa?
Hold on. We did this on Wednesday. Slaughter from Florida, Logan Jones from Iowa.
Logan Jones. Those are the 2 guys. They want one of those.
Sam
2.
Hecht from Kansas State
Right.
is another one that could get his name called tonight. I think there was another one that could have
Okay.
been. Pat Coogan from Indiana. I'm not sure if he'll go tonight. He's more of that kind of second wave.
I think
of
the center's
centers.
going to be early tomorrow. I think they're going to get a tight end tonight and a
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
There's
a lot of things I'd like tonight, but yeah, unfortunately they only have 2 picks, so I don't know what the we'll see what the game
and
plan
what do
is.
you make, because I had kind of a hectic week this week. What do you make of this news? What actually came out about Matabike? Is it promising? Is it somewhat
It was
promising?
encouraging. No, it was encouraging. Yeah, it was encouraging. I mean, I'm still kind of holding my breath and waiting, because apparently he had neck surgery last week. That was the reports, is that he had neck surgery last week, but it was a planned, it wasn't like it was emergency surgery or something like that. It was like a planned surgery that is supposed to help him get back to, full health. I don't know.
Why,
There's still 0 timetable out there,
Yeah.
but I think DeCosta, I think last night because Minter and DeCosta spoke to the media last night after the picks, or the pick, and he said that they are planning to have Matabike as part of their offseason program. So that could mean a wave of things.
That's
But
promising.
yeah, he's definitely been in the building, and the way that DeCosta and Minter have talked,
I
there's
wonder after
constant
all
communication.
this time why the neck surgery. So there was no previous.
Well, maybe they were
neck
waiting. Maybe they were waiting to
Okay.
see if it would clear up. Because I mean, yeah, whenever you say the words neck surgery, you're like, oh, geez,
Yeah.
like that's.
Yeah,
that's
I've had
that's
neck
scary.
surgery.
Yeah,
Not something
so,
you really want.
it's maybe it's similar to you have an elbow thing with
Yeah.
the pitcher, and you're like, let's wait 6 weeks. Let's sit 6 weeks before we decide if we want to actually go in
Yeah,
there
but
and
wait
cut it up.
6 weeks. This has been since.
Well, it's a
week
neck.
two-
We're talking about the neck here. We're talking about your spine and your neck right here, Stan.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
So,
This must have also been a sort of a laparoscopically done thing. I can't imagine that he was getting a full.
I got to learn words today. What's laparoscopically mean?
They go in through a small incision.
Oh, okay.
Not a full cut like I had. If you look at my neck,
You want
I
to show
have
us?
a huge scar where they cut open the back of my neck. I don't think they were.
It's pretty cool. Does it make you feel badass?
Yeah, it really helped me with the women. I got a
Ah.
lot of women from the scar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Congrats.
Don't tell my wife.
Oh,
that,
don't.
though.
Oh, I thought she was one.
And don't tell Mike Vrabel.
Why not Mike Vrabel? You think he's gonna be jealous? He's gonna.
Anyway, he's going to be the best version of himself that he can be.
Oh yeah.
moving
I mean,
forward.
everyone knows that you bounce back strong after infidelity cases. After
He's
there's
a
almost
Super
always.
Bowl. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
That's true. Yeah, he is. Not last year though. Not this past season.
I saw a headline today on.
We could do this all day. We could do
AOL.
jokes all day about.
I just saw. Is Mike Vrabel still laughing? based on what he said
right. It's
about it being
laughable. This situation is
Yeah.
laughable, right? Yeah. No, it doesn't seem like it. He's skipping the draft tomorrow.
This has lasted longer than the Iran War.
Yeah.
Anyway, so round 1 is in the history books. Round 2 and 3 take place tonight, starting at 7:00. Did you like the new updated format of the 8 minutes?
I did. It felt like maybe because it's only 3 hours that they were trying to cram more commercials in. Which I mean, I don't love. I like having the. I just love getting content, so I don't like commercials. But yes, it still moved at a really good pace.
It
so
moved
yes,
at
I
a
like
really
it.
good pace, except that each player, it was sort of announced. They would go through the camera would hit the guy who got drafted in the back room. Except for Mendoza and a couple others, but they go through the whole thing where he gets the hat and he looks in the mirror, and then he goes out and hugs the commissioner, and then does the interview with what's her name, Laura Rutledge.
So you were watching the ESPN one?
ESPN feed.
I was watching NFL Networks.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
but each time,
I just prefer NFL Networks coverage.
But each time that they would show it, they'd say the pick is in already. So you're sort of, and you had to sit through those interviews, which I got to be honest, are in my opinion, practically worthless.
Yeah,
those
but
interviews
I
with
still
the
like seeing
players.
that. I still like seeing it because sometimes the guys are emotional, and I like seeing the emotional guys. Like
I give
Jordan
Laura
Tyson.
Rutledge tremendous credit for being creative with her questioning, but it's just. I don't need every one of them. They could do like every third one or something like that. Anyway.
Well, that's not how it works, Dan. That's not how it works. I still liked it. From what I heard, I watched NFL Network, so I can't really comment a whole lot on ESPN. But from what I heard, is that ESPN had a lot of trouble. From what I heard, they had a lot of trouble figuring out like the pacing of because they liked showing a ton of highlights of each pick, and then also the interview.
They were trying to fill in too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just prefer NFL Network very much so to ESPN. So I watched NFL Network, and I thought they did fine.
Why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that yesterday?
Well, you have autonomy.
I would have liked to.
You're an adult.
I would have liked
your
opinion. I was sitting there.
See, I'm so egotistical, Stan. I just assume everyone knows that I like NFL Network, and that means you like it. You should also like NFL Network more than.
I'm a
than
Mel
ESPN.
Kiper. I'm old school.
I like that. Jeremiah's pretty good, and they had Joel Klatt on there. Rich Eisen's a great host. I love
Rich Eisen is terrific.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Charles Davis was on there yesterday.
Right.
Kurt Warner was on NFL Network today.
God.
They were cutting a rap sheet, explaining how the Eagles broke the Steelers' hearts.
That must have been so much better than ESPN.
I taped it. You just want after the show. You just want to watch all 4 hours of
Can I
NFL
come over?
Networks.
Yeah, I'll come over tonight.
All right.
Your mom cooking dinner for me?
No, she doesn't cook. Yeah,
she doesn't cook.
We can. I can make you peanut butter and jelly or something.
All right. Anyway, back to the Friday baseball show. Lou Merloni, former Red Sox infielder and now a member of their broadcast team for a good while, will join us. He's the analyst on NESN. He joins us at 11:15.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to him in about a minute.
Okay, in about a minute. That's great.
We did a lot of draft talk.
Okay, and then we stayed with the draft much longer. It is the Friday baseball show. Also on with
Believe
us,
it or not,
on the Friday baseball shows, Kevin Ostreicher of USA Today and what's it, Locked on the Ravens?
Locked on Ravens podcast.
Locked on Ravens podcast. He'll join us and we'll get his thoughts on the selection of Vega. But we will be joined momentarily by Lou Merloni of the Boston Red Sox network. The Red Sox off to a pretty dark start, the Red Sox. The Orioles are 12-13. The Red Sox are, 9-15, I think? Red Sox in town tonight for the first of 3 games. Brayan Bello goes against Brandon Young. If you were thinking tonight was Dean Kramer's night, think again. Dean Kramer on the IL, the 15-day IL. I think it's important with a quad strain. So the Orioles are without Dean Kramer. Brandon Young will get the ball tonight. Joining us now from NESN is Lou Merloni, former Boston Red Sox player and longtime member of their broadcast team. Lou, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, anytime. No problem. At least we got some decent warm weather compared to what we've been dealing with.
Yep. What other than the weather has been bothering the Boston Red Sox so far, Lou? It's been a rough go so far.
Yeah, everything. I mean, really everything. I mean, this is a team that's built on starting pitching, and talked a lot about run prevention, and you went out and brought in Sonny Gray, and you went out and brought in Ranger Suarez, and you have Garrett Crochet in this lineup as well, and it just I think you're 26th in starter ERA. So, and there's been a lot of fours. That's 4 innings, 4 runs, 4 walks. The guys aren't going deep, and when you rely on that pitching staff starting rotation, and it's just not working, it doesn't really match up well with arguably the worst offense in baseball. I mean, they're tied for last in home runs.
Yeah.
They just don't score. They don't drive the baseball. So it's really been an all-around struggle here early on.
What's happened is Oviedo on the IL, or has he been optioned, or what's going on with Oviedo?
He's on the IL. He early on in camp, he showed some power in his fastball, and as camp went on, it just started getting down about 92. He had 1 outing out of the bullpen. He lost the starting rotation job to Conley early out of camp.
Right.
Early just pitched better. He had 1 outing out of long relief out in Houston, and everything was 90-91. So something was up. They took a look at him, MRI, and they're just sort of slow playing it right now. Not out for the year, but he's going to be out for a while.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that one performance by Garrett Crochet. Was it again? I forget. Was it against Milwaukee? I mean, it's the most unforgettable Minnesota. Was that just a blip, or is something going on with him?
Well, that's the thing. You weren't really sure what you were watching. Like, I've seen, great pitchers go out there in 4 innings and give up 5-6 runs and say it's just not. He's had a couple of those. He's had a couple of those here in Boston. He still went out and threw the ball well. This was tough to explain. The outing before, he went, head to head with Mizorowski at Fenway Park, and it was a cold night. Do 107 pitches, and the last 2 guys he faced, he walked and hit a guy. And I remember thinking that was the very first time as a member of the Red Sox where I saw him walk off the mound tired. Mm-hmm. Like, usually if he goes 7 innings, it looks like he can go another 2 or 3. We just choose not to. So the questions are out there right now. It'd be interesting to see tomorrow what he looks like, because was the jump in innings last year? Was the workload? Is he starting to see some of that, some tiredness here out of camp? Because he hasn't been the same dominant guy. Now, he looked like it the other day. 4 2/3. He struck out the first 2 guys in the 5th, and he struck out 8 guys. And you're like, well, this is a nice rebound from Minnesota. And then it went solo home run, ball 4, base hit, 3-run homer. Yeah. And he gave up 5. So it happened quickly. So we'll see. Extra day's rest coming into this outing tomorrow. So hopefully, for the Sox, hopefully he can rebound.
Sticking with the rotation then, Lou, and a guy that kind of a lot of Orioles fans might have had on their wish list was Ranger Suarez, and he's also been very up and down, right? Like, he's either been really good or really bad. Is he someone that you're also that Red Sox fans are concerned about?
Yeah, I mean, again, 5 years, 130. You lost out on Bregman. You went running, pitching angle, and you pivoted to that, and he had a tough World Baseball Classic because he didn't throw well and he got bumped. He didn't get many innings, so there was some concern that he didn't get the work in camp. So he came out his first 2 outings and really got hit around. The next 2 were outstanding. It was 14 scoreless. Where he looked more like himself. It looked like the first 2 starts, it was like cutter heavy, and that's just not him. He's sinker changeup guy. But his last outing against the Yankees, gave up 3 right there in the first inning. Left the changeup up. It was a 3-run homer. And there was another, 4, right? 4 innings, 3 runs, 4 runs. Like, it's just too much of it. So hopefully he can rebound. He's a touch and feel guy, right? He needs that sinker changeup, bad contact, and there was a lot of loud contact against the Yankees. So that's been the story about this rotation. The guy's had 5 starts now, and Sonny Gray had 2. Now he's on the IL. Crochet had 2 good outings. Suarez had 2 good outings. Bayo's only had 1 good outing. So you just can't live like that.
What about the I know Oviedo, as you mentioned, lost his spot in the rotation to Connolly early, and now you just brought up Peyton Toll, who pitched very, very well the other night. That's a sort of a fortuitous situation. You got 2 young left-handers like that to plug in.
Yeah, no, both these guys are talented. Tolley was drafted, just last year, made it to the big leagues in his first year at Pro Ball, and just really needed to fine-tune some secondary pitches to go with the power. And he looks like he has. He looked like he did in camp. He looked like he did the other day when he struck out 11 Yankees last night. So that was really impressive. That was one of the few bright sides kind of what we're witnessing here. And Conley Early's throwing the ball well. He's throwing the ball really well, pretty consistent. A couple outings, he didn't go deep, but didn't give up many runs in those outings. So both those guys are promising. But when you're in a spot where you're in, you really need some veterans, you know what I mean, to kind of step up. And that's probably the biggest thing on this team. For a young team the last couple of years, somehow they got younger.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing on offense, because I thought this was a deep and really solid lineup. Maybe not spectacular, but to me there was length to the lineup. And I thought the addition of Caleb Durbin was a really under the radar, but really solid pickup. And he had a great spring, and he's done absolutely nothing so far.
Right. They always say, like, it's never as good as it looks. It's never as bad as it looks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think this lineup is as bad as it looks right now, but it looks bad. I'm with you. You throw a righty up there, and Roman Anthony has put a lot. They put a lot on him to kind of be this star. He's 21 years old, and it's his second year in the league. And you guys know, you've seen it. You've seen young players come out year one and just look like, oh boy, can't wait. And all of a sudden, year two is a struggle. The league attacks your weaknesses, and it's up to you to make adjustments. So it's a lot to ask for a kid that had 70 career games coming in. Duran off to a really slow start.
Yep.
And like you said, Durbin he's just really struggling to hit the ball hard. It's just a lot of ground balls. He's just trying to fit in. There's a lot on him. I mean, Red Sox fans are looking at this front office saying, I went from Devers to Bregman to Caleb Durbin, and they're expecting more than maybe he can offer. Like, he's a good player.
Yeah.
Just not confident right now. So it's up and down. It's swing decisions. It's taking fastballs down the middle, only to swing on balls on the edges or out of the zone. It's not really, when you get good pitches to drive, you're either not pulling the trigger or you're just not driving them, putting your A swing on. And as you know, you've seen teams kind of struggle offensively, and then you start seeing them press. And then you start seeing everybody trying to do too much. And the lack of power, the lack of a 2-run, 3-run home run is really kind of showing right now.
Were they totally outclassed the last three nights against the Yankees? I mean, were those games closer than they looked from the outside?
No, and the only reason why is because of the offense.
Yeah.
It feels like, when you play the New York Yankees and you give up exactly 4 runs in 3-game series for each game, you should win at least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's a win. So they kind of held them a little bit. I mean, Judge and Rice really didn't do anything. It was others. But when you're down 3-0, there's just this sense, this feeling in the ballpark where you're like, well, that's it. The game is over, and you just sort of sleepwalk, and maybe you get a run late and make it 4-1. But other than that, it never really felt that close when you look at some of those scores. So it's just, and it's like I said, it's just because the lack of punch. You'll see it. You're looking for dudes, and right now no one's really stepped up to be a dude. And I don't know if they have one, but it's got to be a better 1 through 9 attack of getting on base and just sort of passing that baton.
Obviously, we're still sitting here in April, but the that series against the Yankees did not help the Red Sox. How do you feel about the division, I guess, as a whole, looking at the AL East? It's still, very much within range, despite the Yankees pulling a little bit away, giving themselves a little bit of breathing room this week. But does it still feel like it's wide open, despite the slow starts for Boston and Toronto and I guess Tampa and Baltimore just kind of hanging around right now?
Yeah, I think that's the name of the game, hanging around. It's funny because I've heard some people say, well, the only chance, the reason why they're still alive is because the AL is so down. And maybe there's a lack of a super team, but I think it has more to do with there's nobody that's really bad. Look, we just played Minnesota. I played them in camp thinking, okay, this team's taking a step back, and they're playing good baseball. Anaheim's playing good baseball. The A's, so a lot of the so-called good teams are maybe starting out of the gate, like not what they wanted to, but you don't really go into a series really in this league anymore thinking, oh, we're just much better than them. Like, there's whether a team's got great pitching, maybe they don't, but they have great hitting, they got a lot of power, and anybody can sneak up on you. So It's a battle every single night. You can talk about how they just ran into Skubal and Fromber and Schlittler and Fried, but that's the Major League Baseball these days. You got to find out. You got to find a way.
Lou, how big a problem? I'm looking at the numbers here. We're seeing it in Baltimore too. The strikeout numbers of your guys are really, sort of off the charts.
Yeah, they are. And, whether that's approach, whether that is, hey, pull side in the air is where the money is. And when you start thinking pull side in the air, you're not going to make much contact, on soft away. You're not going to make the right contact on a fastball outer half. You're going to hit it off the end of the bat. So when you're pulling off and just this focus of, hey, we got to get the ball in the air, whether it's because we're at Fenway Park and we got to take advantage of that. The strikeouts have been piling up, and not every strikeout's worth the same, right? So 2 outs, you punch out, ain't no big deal, whatever. Second and third, and you strike out 3 straight times, that's a problem. That's approach. That's not staying in the middle of the field. And I don't know, maybe just the league itself is all about pull side power and slug, that, pulling off the baseball is just a thing now.
What are you seeing with Durbin? I know I mentioned him earlier, and you sort of addressed the overall offense, but this is a guy who had a really solid year in Milwaukee last year and hit the cover off the ball in spring training, and now is batting like 160, I think it is, something like 141 right now. No homers, 7 RBIs.
Well, I'll say this about him. Playing an outstanding third base, and that's not easy to do when you're struggling offensively. You kind of not let it take to your defense. So he's been great over there. He doesn't expand, too often. I mean, guys are going to expand once in a while, but for the most part, he's one of the best on our team as far as swinging at the right pitches. But trying to get that A swing off has been an issue. There's been a ton of ground balls. As an entire team, I think the Red Sox are second in the league in ground ball rate, which is not a rate you want to be in.
Right.
You want to be able to hit the ball in the air and drive the ball and hit gaps, and explains a lot of their power. And that's kind of where he's living right now. I think there's a lot on him. I mean, he's walking into really a bad situation. It was like the one guy I remember before the season started that you wanted to see get off to a good start was Caleb Durbin, because he can be a guy with the way he plays the game that can be a fan favorite, and like I said, there's pressure on him coming to a new organization, wanting to get off to a good start, fan base that maybe isn't happy with how an offseason went as far as the bats go,
right? And
sort of looking at like this is the replacement for Rafi Devers, who actually Alex Bregman. So that a lot of the anger towards Caleb Durbin is really more for the offseason and how they address the position.
It's interesting that you talk about the pressure that we're putting on these players, because the Orioles are kind of dealing with that as well, with kind of guys that we did not expect it from, and Gunnar and Pete Alonso, who have gotten off to slower starts, and Stan wrote about it this week. The Orioles have been fortunate that they've had guys like Leody Taveras and Jeremiah Jackson come out of nowhere to pick them up a little bit. But is that something? I don't know. Is it just? It feels like we're seeing that a lot with several different teams where stars are just kind of having really sluggish starts this month.
Yeah, and I think when you look around the league every year, that's going to happen. I can tell you right now, Gunnar Henderson and Pete Alonso are going to be better than Jackson and Taveras before the year's up.
Yeah,
like that's just that. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'll put pretty much anything you want right now. I know gambling's illegal at Bushwood, but we can still do that. So, and that's the thing. Like you see guys that are struggling. Rafi Devers, he's going to hit 30 home runs before the year's up, and Gunnar's going to do the same thing. And so isn't Pete's going to hit 40. So get ready, because there's going to be a month where he's popping 9 or 10. Because some of they're baseball card guys. I don't worry about them. I don't. We'll see him this weekend, but at some point it's going to click and someone's going to pay. And that's the difference. You've got, some of these veterans. It's like just they can go through it like, okay, it's frustrating, it's not fun going through, but I know it's coming. Like, because that's just me and my career. It's just who I am. If you got a young player that you don't know, that you haven't seen that success, if you still don't know who he is. That's fair to sort of sit there and say, well, I don't know who this guy is. But to me, guys like that, they're going to be just fine. By the time we play them in September, their numbers will be their numbers.
Yeah, I'll never forget, Lou. I did talk radio here in Baltimore for 20-some years, and I was talking to Earl Weaver one day, and he used to listen to my show in the mid-'80s. And he comes up to me and he says, I heard you the other night you're ragging on Murray and Ripken. He goes, those guys have done it before. He goes, you think I'm frickin' worried about them? I'm not worried. They've done it before. The two guys you got to worry about are over there. And he pointed to Floyd Rayford and Mike Young, who had sensational second halves of the 85 season. And he said, those are the guys you got to worry about. And those two guys never did anything in the majors again. And Murray and Ripken are both in the Hall of Fame, so your point's well taken.
That's kind of, where we're at. It's baseball, right? It's projections. It's and that's really one of the issues with this Red Sox team is that, we've got four guys in the everyday lineup that have a year of service time or less, with Narvaez, Meyer, Durbin, and Anthony, a year less. And we think we know who they're going to be, but we don't know who they're going to be. Rafaela, Abreu, I think I know what they're going to be, but I don't know who they're going to be. I know who Pete Alonso is. I know who Gunnar Henderson is. And that's one of the reasons why Wilson Contreras is swinging the bat well and probably their most consistent hitters, because you just know who he is. So there's just a lot of unknown, which makes it really uneasy in Boston, because we think these guys are great players, and I do think they are. It's just, this is a tough league, and to roll in here with 1 year service time and 2 years and get off to a start like this when 4 nights of your rotation's of your lineup's got a year in the league, that's hard. It's really, really hard to deal with.
One last thing, Lou, before we let you go. What do we have in store tonight from Bayo? He's been really up and down for most of the last season and a half, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's his 5th start and only really one good one. The thing that concerns me is looking at some numbers quick, like the Orioles are one of the best teams at hitting sinkers. And this is a game where I just wanted him to get to who he is. He is a sinker ball pitcher. He gets ground balls. Weirdly enough, this year is a guy that still not striking guys out, but the whiff rate is through the roof. He's getting so much swing and miss to the point where I feel like he's falling in love with it and chasing it. Mm-hmm. And because of that, he's going 4 innings, 85, 90 pitches. He's just 3-2 counts, a lot of traffic on the bases, and you would just like for him to get back to the roots and pound that sinker and try to get some easy outs. And strike one's important. I think he was 8 for 20 first pitch strike in his last outing. So, but it's going to be tough against a lineup that hits the sinker well. But you still got to do what you do. Do what you do best, locate and see if they can hit yours.
When you guys hired Andrew Bailey, I was really upset because that's who I wanted the Orioles to bring in as pitching coach. How is he held in? What esteem is he held in up in Boston?
Well, listen, it's the same thing, when he walked in, and now it's, I think, year 3 or so.
Yeah, I think it's
I still think he's very good at what he does. There's a lot of young pitchers in here that are developing. It's just overall, we always look at coaches, is it Andrew Bailey's fault that, like I just said, Bale threw 8 first pitch strikes to 20 hitters, I don't think the pitchers meeting is like, hey, let's nibble early on in counts and get deep in the counts and throw 90 pitches and go 4 innings. I just don't. I just think that sometimes the message from when you're in that meeting, in that dugout, and when you cross that line, things can speed up on you. And sometimes it's up to the athlete to figure it out. We're dealing that now with the pitching coaches. We could talk about approach. We could talk about what you're thinking. But sometimes when you step in that box and that experience isn't there to slow things down, everything goes out the window, and you're just left wondering what the hell just happened. So I still think Andrew Bailey does a really good job with his staff, but they're not helping him out. They're certainly not making him look good right now.
All right. Hey, Lou, thank you so much for your time this morning, okay?
Yeah, you got it. Anytime. Hopefully we get a fun weekend of baseball.
I hope so, too. Thank you. Lou Merloni of the Boston Red Sox, NESN, color analyst on their broadcast. We're going to take a timeout.
I didn't know you had an Earl Weaver in you.
Oh, I've got several Earl Weavers in me.
We'll have to try to use that.
It's either that or gas. I'm not sure. I've got them in me. We're going to take a timeout right now and hear from a couple of our fine sponsors. This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bill Ordine dives in on how different Preakness will be temporarily at Laurel Park and then long-term once it returns to Pimlico. Also inside, Luke Jackson learns more about what Trey Hendrickson will bring to the Ravens. And Karuga Koinange looks at how Samuel Basayo is influencing the Orioles' international signing efforts. Press Box is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Hi, my name's Colton Cowser, outfitter for the Baltimore Orioles, and you're listening to Griffin Bass, Stan the Fan Charles, on the Baseball Show. Let's keep it moving along.
Okay. All right. We are back on the Friday Baseball Show.
Yeah, it's exciting, right?
Yeah. That was great. That was great.
Colton Cowser doing rejoiners for us.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Who wrote that?
I believe Lucas came up with that himself. Yeah.
Who did?
My brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your brother have to do with it?
Sorry, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, Colton. I
Cowser.
think Colton came up with it himself. I mean.
Okay.
He he buys into it. Keep it moving along.
Yeah. I guess he gets the fact that people call him the moo guy.
Yeah. Hopefully he keeps putting balls in play. That would be nice.
Yeah. That's
good things are happening when he puts balls in
play.
play.
Boy, this week, Basayo a little bit, Mayo a little bit, and Cowser a little bit. Remarkable what that lineup looks like when you get production from those 3 guys, you know?
Yeah.
To go along with Taylor Ward and Jeremiah Jackson.
Right, yeah, the two ringers of the lineup, obviously, Jackson.
One of the guys that has struggled, it's hard to call it mightily because he does have 7 home runs and 15 RBIs, but Gunnar Henderson is not a 189 hitter.
No,
I mean he is right now.
Yeah, we've been talking about it all week too, like Glenn and I have, where it's like it's should we be worried? Is this just what Gunnar is, where the power is going to be there, but at the risk at the cost of 100 points worth of batting average? Like,
so I watched the Orioles play last week, those 4 games against the Guardians, and there's a guy there that is. He's a little older, a little more savvy, a little more proven, and he's made some good money. I think he had a $141 million contract that just got extended to be a 7-year, $175 million contract. So he's going to earn over $300 million in his career. So it's not like we're taking out the violins. But would you agree that if Jose Ramirez were on the free agent market after this season, that he would be in the range of a $35 to $40 million a year player?
Yeah, Probably. I mean, I'm like I guess because he's 33, like that's just why he wouldn't get like quite the years that all these other guys are getting. But I mean, yeah, like he
wouldn't get 13 years.
It's ridiculous. Like the way you can close your eyes at any point in the season, you look up and Jose Ramirez is like among the league leaders in steals. He plays great third base.
Yep.
He has power from both sides of the plate. Like,
and he looks like he just goes out and enjoys playing baseball. Right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got this contract signed. I took that and I pondered that and I wrote a column, Is the Weight of the World Too Much on Gunnar Henderson? For Gunnar Henderson. And I think it's, I don't often pat myself on the back with coming up with really creative ideas because, well, this one I'm going to pat myself on the back. I think there's a little something to the fact that
I like it. It's like your plea to Gunnar to sign for,
it's not
$5.
It's not a plea to him. It's a plea to Scott Boras to look at maybe what the player's going through and not just say, well, he'll get through it and all this. I'm not suggesting that he undervalues himself tremendously, but I put forth a contract, like a 3-tier contract, where the Orioles buy him for the next 5 years at roughly $150, $160 million a year.
Yeah, that'd be very under the market, though. That's the issue.
That's
right?
not very under the market for the next 5 years. When you have,
yeah, but like the numbers that we're talking about him getting.
Let's say, but you have to produce to get the numbers.
I know, and I think people still know that he's 25 years, or he's not even
24.
He's 24 years old
right now.
And like you got he has 10 years.
His next
at
2
least
years.
Left,
his next
left
2
in his
years.
career.
His next 2 years. He's going to make, and I talked to Luke about this, roughly next year, arbitration, he'll get $14 million, okay?
Across both years? Or
No,
per?
next year. I said
just
next year.
I thought you said the next 2 years.
No, the next 2 years, he's going to get 14, then he's going to get 22. So he'd be getting 60 for those 2 years instead of 35. So that's
sure, yeah.
So you're buying out those 2 years of arbitration. And you're guaranteeing him 5 at 150, and maybe I forget. Maybe I wrote 175. It might be 175, I think. But then after that, I said he's got an opt out, or the contract goes up by another $5 million a year. The next 3 years he'd make like 37, and then the next 3 years he'd make like 40, something like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he can get out after 5 years, he can get out after 8 years, or he can stay here for the next 11 years. I don't see a loss there for him, and I think it would allow him. I mean, are you suggesting that the Orioles right now offer him like 5 years, $250 million?
I mean, it's much easier for me to say that, obviously, when it's not my money. But,
okay.
But I mean, yeah, like I think you got to do, and that probably still wouldn't be enough either. Like he's this close to free agency. Like you got to give him a near market deal.
Okay. So he's got this year and 2 more years. You're saying he's so close to free agency.
Yeah.
So what if I'm right? What if my supposition is right?
And it might
that
be.
This pressure is building. I'm not calling him a choke artist. It's a lot of pressure to carry around for 2.5 years to get $500 million, and suddenly it's spinning out of control a little bit, and you're not performing to where you're going to get that kind of money anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, I don't know what
so
the
you
free
think
agent
it's
market's.
a stupid column?
I didn't. Is that what I said? Did I say it was?
Well, you said it's way too. I think 5 years at $30 million a year.
I think you bring up a lot of good points. I just think it's unfortunately like the position that the Orioles find themselves in here, that Gunnar is a star player in Major League Baseball, and he is a bona fide. He has power, he has speed, he plays defense.
So why is he not performing at that level?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like Lou Merloni said. It's the first month of the season. There could be a myriad of factors.
Well,
right. If this continues into if it's June and we don't look up and it's like, oh, Gunnar and Pete are fine, then then there is concern. But he has earned that leash of kind of, you can bat $190, but you can't do it for an entire year, obviously. But you can bat $190 for now.
All right. Listen, I hope I'm wrong, and that's not what's building up here. But I think there's an enormous amount of pressure,
and it would
on
still,
a young player.
it would still be, and it could it makes a lot of sense it obviously makes a lot of sense for both parties to just get that kind of security on both ends. That would be great.
Right.
Just kind of maybe, hopefully, there's no like awkwardness that comes up in the next 2-3 years as we get closer to free agency and it becomes more and more obvious. Obviously, the Orioles are not gonna give him $500 million, and we'll see if that's what he ends up earning or not. But,
my proposal is, by the way, just so you know, I remember the total. I might have screwed up the 5-year figure. Might be $32.5 million, but it's a total of $341 million with 2 opt-outs. After year 5 and after year 8, and I'd even include, if they want to do an opt-out after years 6 and 7, I'd be fine with that. I just think him having the security would allow him to go out and play like Jose
play
Ramirez.
Freely. Sure. Yeah,
that's a thought.
Makes sense.
Okay. Who brings you this week in the rest of baseball?
Good. That was a really good segue, Stan. I just wasn't ready, so that was
This is the second week in a row.
I know, but there's a lot of moving parts to the program, Stan.
There she is. There's my friend.
Set me up again.
Who brings you this week in the rest of baseball?
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
This week
In the rest of
baseball.
Stan, welcome to This Week in the Rest of Baseball.
All right. What do we got on the table today?
We got a lot of things going on. Hold on to make sure we don't get dinged for using the old Twib music, because apparently that we're not allowed to use that, which is disappointing. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Our long national nightmare is over, Stan. The New York Mets. They got a win. They got 2 wins.
They got 2 wins in a row.
They got 2 wins in a row. They tried to give it away both times, but the Mets have won 2 games. They lost 12 in a row. I think we were talking about them last week as well, and they had only lost 8 or 9 in a row at that point. But they ended up losing. They ended up losing 12 in a row, and they tried to give it away Wednesday night. It was. Did you see It was. I forget who was at the plate. Somebody hit a ball into left field, a double down the line into left field. Mark Vientos was trying to score from first base. He's rounding third. Third base coach for the Mets throws up double stop sign, double hand stop sign. Mark Vientos burns right through it. Gets thrown out at the plate. He would have been the go-ahead run in the 6th inning or something. He gets thrown out at the plate. Game remains tied 2-2, and then the Mets end up taking the lead in the 8th inning, I think, anyway. And they do hold on, and they snap their losing streak.
And then didn't they have a problem last night?
They did.
Lead?
Yeah, they were up were they up 8-4? I think they gave up a grand slam to Minnesota last night in the late in the game as well. But they were able to come back as well in that one, I don't think they were trailing it.
But didn't they have a problem in the 9th inning with the relief pitcher?
Yeah, Brazoban. Well, Brazoban
Brazoban pitched the 8th inning.
He loaded the bases. Brazoban loaded the bases, and then they went to Devin Williams, who gave up the grand slam to tie the game. Brazoban.
No, this was last night. Brazoban pitched the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Then he came out. He crossed the line. They had the lead going into the top of the 9th. He crossed the line, and Devin Williams came running in from the bullpen.
Yeah.
But because Brazoban had crossed the line, the foul line.
Yeah, there was just miscommunication. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the wins, the win thing.
No, I'm talking
Devin
about
Williams got
night.
the win, even though Brazoban pitched twice.
Right, but he got the save last night, Williams.
No, he didn't. Because there was I saw this last night too, and I didn't fully understand it, so I wasn't going to include it because I couldn't explain it very well. There's a rule that's called short and inefficient or something, I think. Which that sounds like something
I got
else.
screwed out of a win. They deemed last Friday night. They deemed Anthony Nunez.
I'll find the rules.
They well, I know the rule. Anthony Nunez came in with the bases loaded. Okay, he gave up a home run. Remember that he gave up the grand slam to Sneeman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he retired 2 batters after that. Would you call that a horrible performance? He came in with the bases loaded.
Right, yeah. Like, what do you expect him to do?
Well, I mean, but the rule is if he's ineffective.
I got to find the Twitter.
The Orioles went ahead.
Ineffective. Yeah, you're right. That's what the word is.
The next inning, the Orioles.
Brief and ineffective.
Brief and ineffective, yeah. I would not call that brief and ineffective. It's ineffective, but it's not, to me. I thought Nunez should have got the win, and this must have been a similar circumstance.
It was. Yes, It was a very similar circumstance. So this is from a Twitter account. It's a good Twitter account on called MLB Scoring Changes. Hold on,
that's my Twitter.
You run this account?
Yeah, I run that.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense why you're able to explain
Colton
it then.
Cowser does those liners for us.
Right, yes, exactly. So this was last night. Somebody was complaining about Brazoban not getting the win because they wanted – it was a fantasy player, obviously, and they wanted Williams to have the save. But, yeah, Brazoban was deemed brief and ineffective, Rule 9.17c. So an appearance, rather, to be ruled B&I, brief and ineffective. A reliever has to pitch fewer than 1 inning, so a third or 2/3 or less, I guess,
right.
And allow 2. I guess he would have to pitch at least 1 point for him to get consideration for the win. Record 1 out. Allow 2 or more earned runs,
right,
inherited or otherwise, or pitch exactly 1 innings and allow 4 or more instead of inherited. So his stat line looked like this was what the stat line looked like. So Brazoban gave up the home run, which I guess tied it. So Brazoban gave up the home run.
That's not a horrible stat line.
He was brief and ineffective. Whoever you got to talk to the official
score. 2/3 of an
scorer.
inning, you give up 1 run.
You got to talk to the official scorer at a Citi Field, I guess. That's I would assume that's who made that decision. But yeah, Williams came in and
this is 2 nights ago.
No, this was last night.
This was last night.
This was last night's game.
All right.
So that is
that's a terrible interpretation of the rule. It really is. I've watched as much baseball.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think Brazoban.
I mean, if he gives up 3 runs, I'll agree with that. And I think when a pitcher comes in, a rookie pitcher comes in with the bases loaded, and he happens to give up a grand slam home run, that's not all entirely on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Things are still not great for the Mets. They're still very, very playing very poorly.
Shaky.
Soto's back, which is good news. But then Lindor landed on the IL like the same exact day Soto came back.
What's he got? A calf sprain?
A calf, yeah, a strain. I think so. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it could be a minimum stay, but you talk calf and things get really cloudy. Staying on the NL East, the Phillies suck too. They just got mopped by the Cubs. You know what a mop is?
Yeah, swept.
Yeah.
4 in a row.
Right, yeah. Okay, good. I want to make sure that we're trying to popularize that word. They got mopped by the Cubs. Cubs are really good, by the way. Swept by Atlanta. They've lost 9 in a row, I think Philly has. So they are either of these two teams going to be okay? We just talked to Lou Merloni about the struggling Red Sox, and how about the Phillies and Mets? Do either of them have a lick of hope?
I don't think the Phillies do.
Really? You think the Mets are better off than the Phillies right now?
I think they've got a little bit more confidence in that pitching staff than the Phillies do right now.
I guess I was leaning towards Philly just because I like their bullpen and their lineup better.
Well,
even though the rotation's really.
Duran is on the IL.
How long's he down? I know he got.
He'll be down at least another 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh, really?
At least.
But it's not as bad as like Diaz.
No, but. We're not talking about Diaz. We're talking about the
I'm
Mets
talking
and the
about
Phillies.
I'm talking about we're talking about
no,
closers.
It's not as bad as Diaz.
We're talking about the injury. I'm talking about guys that are injured.
Diaz is going to be gone for a couple of months.
It's my segment, Stan. For now, I know you want to take it over, but
okay, go ahead.
Well, no, I did ask you a question. So you think you're more concerned with the Phillies right now?
Yeah, Nola is no longer
he's bad.
pitching regularly like Aaron Nola. They're due to get Zach Wheeler back.
It was an oblique for Duran, so yeah, you're
so
right.
He's going to be 6 weeks probably.
Yeah, it could be anything.
4 to 6 weeks. Zach Wheeler's due to come back this week, I think.
Really? Is that close?
Yeah.
Okay, then I feel much. Then that makes me feel even better.
Yeah,
about
but he's
Philly.
coming back from the thoracic outlets.
Yeah,
surgery.
but that's better than.
That's a very difficult.
I mean, yeah,
injury.
he might not have a 2.5 ERA, but I think
Right.
that's better than a lot of their.
And I think they let their lineup age. I mean, I think I'm not predicting Schwarber's going to have a horrible year, but I think suddenly a lineup 2 years ago when Bohm was really playing well,
Sure.
Turner, Castellanos, Schwarber, and Harper, Real Muto, now is sort of an aging Real Muto. No Castellanos.
I still like Bryce Harper. I still like Trey. I still like Trey Turner. I like their lineup. And I mean, once we're talking about the weather a lot this month, but once the weather warms up,
I think they're a few days.
Much like
away.
Alonso, Schwarber's going to have a month where he hits 12 home runs.
I think they're a few days away from a managerial change.
Really?
in Philly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Possibly.
Well, what about how close are the Mets to that as well?
I think they're pretty close too.
Okay.
Unless
things are not going well in the NL. Well, the Atlanta's things are going pretty well. But
Atlanta things are going very well.
Yes. All right. Well, moving along then.
Yes.
I did mention Edwin Diaz. He had bone chips in his elbow. He's going to miss about 3 months. I mean, he's gonna
Loose
miss
bodies.
Yeah, loose bodies. There it is. So they went in and cleaned that up this week. He'll miss 3 months.
I have a very loose body.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that body.
The Dodgers played the Giants this week, and the Giants took 2 out of 3 against the L.A. Dodgers.
Yes,
Strong
they did.
pitching from Landon Roop and Tyler Mahle. They outdueled Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto the first 2 nights of the series before Glasnow came in as the stopper for the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers are ridiculous, man. They 8 scoreless from Glasnow yesterday to avoid the sweep. But there was some interesting beef going on between the two squads, Stan. As Dalton Rushing got hit by a pitch by Logan Webb. Did you see that yesterday?
No.
John Boyd put together they spliced together a good video here of kind of the whole sequence. So I just kind of want to share that. But bad blood between the Dodgers and the Giants, which I guess isn't new.
What happened here?
Now Lee's coming home, and the throw, and they got him. A risky move on Lee's part. Now let's hope he's okay, and that's going to end the inning.
Played here and played.
So he threw hard tag on Jung-Hoo Lee at the plate from Dalton Rushing.
It was a sweeping tag. Yeah.
And Lee was a little banged up after it, just kind of shaken up after the tag, and they cut the Rushing, and Rushing goes F him, So this is yesterday, the very next night,
right.
And Logan Webb down 3-0. Second pitch of the at bat goes up and in here to Rushing.
Well. And this may have had a little purpose to it. Rushing said a couple things in Game 1 the Giants paid attention to. When you got drilled, did you want to steal
Webb
when you got
say
to first base?
I did. I also wanted to take out who's ever covering.
It used to be legal.
Like this. And they got him. And now they're going to call him out anyway because Rushing went right into.
Yeah, he did. And he was thinking exactly what you were talking about.
So here's that play again at second.
So, courtesy of NBC Sports Bay Area.
Dirty slide.
Dirty slide from Rushing. So, that was the game. That was obviously the finale yesterday. Nothing else transpired. But it feels like this might be one that gets revisited. Yeah. Two teams that hate each other already. But no, Logan Webb hit Rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes. I thought.
Dirty play, though, by Rushing.
Yeah. Rushing has been off to a great start, though. He has, it's just like the Dodgers are ridiculous, man. Obviously, all the usual suspects are doing what they're supposed to, and now Dalton Rushing had 7 home runs in his first 8 games of this season, which is, as a catcher for the Dodgers, which is it's just not fair what the Dodgers have going on. So they lost 2 of 3, but they're still going to be fine, and they still have a hefty lead. Yeah, you're right, Stan. I went too much. Lot of good stuff on this week in the rest of baseball, but those were the big ones for us, Stan.
All right,
so,
good job.
Let's stay here, and I'll call our next guest. If you want to tell us, Stan, about what are we going to find in this?
Got the new issue. The new issue of Press Box is out. It's been out for about a week now. It's called "The Future of the Preakness," written by Bill Ordine. Billardine looks at what's in store for the Preakness Stakes for this year at Laurel and beyond, and the key questions that still remain for Maryland Racing. He did an excellent, excellent job. I wrote a piece on, my column is on the balls and strikes, the ABS system, which I think is kind of, to me, it's kind of bothersome. I've said all along, I've been saying for 5 years that when they got this technology that they would go right to calling all balls and strikes this way. But they haven't deemed that to be the case. So we live through the ABS system, and I don't care for it. I find it taxing on me as a fan. I don't know how you feel, but we'll take a timeout. And we'll make our contact with Kevin Ostreicher of USA Today and Locked on the Ravens podcast. We'll be back after these words.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in Maryland, you know you need a great lawyer. Look no further than us, Warnken LLC. You've seen my picture on billboards around town. You've seen me on TV. Now I'm lucky enough to get to be here with Stan. Please give us a call. 443-RESULTS. It is not just a phone number, it's a mission. 443-RESULTS. Or visit us online at warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Hi, everyone. There's nothing I love more than hearing Stan the Fan and Griffin talk baseball. Here they are.
Back on the show, the Friday Baseball Show, and we're hoping to make our connection with Kevin Ostreicher. I know it's a busy day for him with the NFL draft due to start at 7 p.m. tonight. So there's a possibility he's got in the middle of a maybe it's a big trade. What do you think of that, Griff? You think that's a possibility?
No. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know how big.
I don't necessarily mean the Ravens. I just mean a big.
Oh, there could
maybe
be any trade.
Humongous
there could be any
trade.
There could be. There very well could be. Sorry, people. I feel bad because it's been back to back weeks now that we didn't come through with one of the guests that we did promise. Still a great show for you today, though. We did talk about the draft in the opening segment, so I don't know if there's much more that you want to hear from me talk about it, Stan. But
no, Ravens. Just to recap, the Ravens drafted. What's
Go ahead. Yeah, you nailed it at the beginning.
I nailed it at the beginning. Olai Vavenga, Vaveng.
Yeah.
Vavengna?
No, you had it. Yeah, you had it.
Okay. Awani.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Olai Vavanga.
Yowani. Yeah, Yowani.
Yowani.
Yowani. Oliva Vanga.
Oliva Vanga.
Yowani. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He's a mauler.
He's a mauler.
From Penn State.
He decleats people. He one of the things, there was a quote of him somewhere
Kicks him
saying,
in the nuts.
yeah, there was somewhere.
He kicks him in the nuts.
I think it was a quote yesterday that came from him, and he said he's gonna. I don't know if he kicks him in the nuts. That's kind of dirty. But he said my job is to make sure that people that stand in front of me do not survive. That was something that he said.
I
think that's who I want protecting Lamar Jackson.
That's why I no longer go to Ravens camp to talk to players.
Because you're afraid.
I'm afraid that he could.
That he would kill you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I wouldn't survive.
And frankly, that's the kind of mentality I want from my offensive lineman. I want him to look at Stan the Fan and say, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
So there's your draft.
All right. Anyway,
should be exciting tonight again.
Orioles. Assuming we're not going to talk to Kevin Eistreicher today. Orioles and the Red Sox play 3 this weekend, and then they're off Monday, right? Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday they play the Houston Astros.
Correct. We got a 6-game homestand here,
and then the Orioles go to New York.
Yep.
For 4.
What the heck? Why do they play on Monday? They play Thursday or Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
Why?
Why they do that sometimes?
Why?
Yeah, hotel rates are much cheaper if you stay over the whole
They're even
weekend.
playing a day game Friday night, so it's like they play at 1:30 Sunday. Yeah,
right.
1:30 on Sunday, and then they're playing Monday night.
Yeah.
And then they have to get down to Miami Tuesday night for a game Tuesday.
Hey, nobody said it was going to be easy.
I know, but that made, and there's a couple series. Like I think there's another series this weekend where it's like they play into Monday.
The Tigers played in Boston. Well, that's the
but
marathon.
there's another one. Like San Diego was playing like in Colorado or something on Monday, even though the series starts this weekend.
Yeah, they do that occasionally.
That's dumb.
They do that occasionally.
It's dumb, Stan. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I think we'll know a good bit more about this Oriole team by the time we finish with Miami.
I was going to include it on Twib. We got some questions from the Peanut Gallery. It comes from at Lucas Bass on YouTube.
Okay.
He says, "Good morning, at the fan. What do the Orioles have to give up for Jose Soriano?"
The Angels are not trading Jose Soriano. No,
I hate to break it to you, Luke.
He's evolving, Lucas. He's evolving into one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He's been very impressive.
And I'm just kicking myself in the ass because I wanted him like 2 years ago in fantasy, and this year he was there for me. And I started looking at his whip numbers, and I said, you know what? His whip numbers aren't that impressive. I think I'll stay away from him. He's having like the most remarkable season on earth. And then
for people that he's 5-0 at the moment through 6 starts.
What's his ERA is like 0.34?
0.24 now.
2.4.
0.24 after 5 scoreless on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday his whip is his whip that Stan was so worried about is 0.8 right now. He has 43 strikeouts
his whip is 0.80?
0.82.
82.
Yep, 82. 0.82. He pitches again on the road on Tuesday against the measly White Sox. So he might look for that ERA to continue to decline. I mean, it's almost impossible for him. He's given up 1 run through.
It will not keep declining.
It might, though.
Yeah.
He's been
I would say from
unbelievable.
this point forward, he's going to have like a 3 ERA the rest of the year.
And he'll still
end
be
up
really
with
good.
like a 2.6 or something like that.
Another one from Lucas. He says, "Good morning, at the fan. Are you buying?" I kind of talked about it. Are you buying the Braves stock? Buying the Braves?
Yeah, I would say I'm buying the Braves stock. I think Walt Weiss is doing an excellent job. Matt Olson is having a really, really solid year, and they've gotten. The one chink in their armor now is Iglesias now went to the IL. So Suarez, Robert Suarez is going to move into the closer role.
Exciting for
him.
I like
which weakens their bullpen. Because
I got to add Robert Suarez.
The two of their, in your fantasy?
Yeah.
Why is he available?
Because we don't do holds in our league. So it's just saves.
Oh.
Yeah. I think somebody added him actually already.
Okay.
I was late to the party. I have a lot. I have a good closing. I have a good set of closers right now.
Okay.
I got what's his face is on the IL. But I picked up Thielbar. Where am I? I was in the wrong. Palencia.
He's
Palencia,
on the IL.
I know he's on the IL. Hader's on the IL, but he's coming back soon. But I picked up Thielbar. I have Cade Smith. I have Paul Sewald, who lead the league in
Wasn't
saves.
Hader extended to the 60 day?
Yeah, he was, but he should be back in May.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be back by the end of May. At least I'm holding out hope. If not, he started a rehab already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yes.
Good for him.
Yes.
The Padres signed Lucas Giolito to a 1-year contract. Did you see? It's like base salary is $3 million.
By the way, the Braves are at -190 to win the NL East right now. Second best odds, the Mets. So you're right. People, the Vegas at least is not.
What are the
counting out
Phillies?
They are third. Mets are +370. Phillies are +490. So pretty long odds, but they're still second and third in the division. Yeah. No one buying any. No one giving any hope for the Marlins or the Nats.
Arizona and San Diego are playing better than I thought. The NL Central might be the toughest division in all of baseball right now.
Not kidding.
I mean, the Cardinals are even playing well.
Cardinals have been playing well. Jordan Walker's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
They are still +1900 to win the NL Central.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to win but I'm talking about.
I'm trying to put in perspective that the Cardinals are playing good baseball and they still have no shot to win the division.
Right, but I'm not talking about winning the division. We're talking about the Phillies making the playoffs, and the Phillies face the obstacle that there are so many other good teams, and the Mets face this as well. There's only 3 second-place teams or 3 wild card teams, right?
3 wild card teams, yes.
In each league,
right? Yeah. Sorry.
So you got the winners of the divisions will most likely be the Dodgers. I can't tell you who's going to win the NL Central, and Atlanta. So the Phillies would have to be one of those 3 teams, and my point is that they now have about 6 teams in front of them that are playing much better baseball right now.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, the Cubs, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Arizona, and San Diego.
Yeah. Yes, I do get your point.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's a complicated
final
point. I mean, it was a deep point.
It was. It was. Final one from Lucas. Good morning, at the fan. In honor of Al Pacino's birthday, what's your favorite Al Pacino performance?
Wow, favorite Al Pacino performance. He was pretty darn good in Panic in Needle Park. He was fantastic in Serpico. He was incredible, I thought, in Godfather 2 and The Scent of a Woman. Those 4 performances. So nice. I couldn't.
You can't pick just one. That's your Mount Rushmore, though.
I would say Serpico. Well, it went Dog Day Afternoon, but I would say Serpico was an absolutely brilliant performance.
I have not seen Serpico.
You've never seen Serpico?
No, this came out in the 70s.
Incredible.
Hasn't been a priority for it. I mean, you ever see Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler? He was stunning. He was unforgettable in that.
Jack and Jill?
Yeah.
Al Pacino was?
Yeah. He was in Jack and Jill.
No, I don't know. Who played Jill?
Sandler.
And who played Jack?
Sandler.
Okay.
One of his best performances.
What did Al Pacino play?
I'm glad you're, he played himself.
He played himself,
and he was incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
No one does an Al Pacino like Al Pacino.
Never saw him.
All right. I think that's all I got for you. Oh, do you want to run over your power rankings real quick, Stan?
Yeah, we can.
Before I do that, I should let you know that the first hour of the program was brought to you by CountySports.Zone, which is powered by BuyAToyota.com. We are approaching the playoff season already in high school sports, high school spring sports, that is, baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse. Every county, every sport, every division, conference, whatever it is, it's all, you can find out standings, schedules, and everything at CountySports.Zone, powered by BuyAToyota.com.
All right. This past week, the Dodgers came back to number 1. Atlanta moved from 4 to 2. The Yankees stayed the same. They were 3. Cubs moved from 5 to 4. Milwaukee moved from 6 to 5. Cleveland moved from 10th to 6th. Promptly lost 2 out of 3 to Houston. Cincinnati moved from 15th to 7th. They won 2 out of 3 against Tampa,
Wow,
so
top 10 for the
they might
old,
move up a little bit.
The old Redlegs.
The Redlegs.
Seattle. Ellie De La Cruz, he was one of the guys I was going to mention in Twib. He has already hit 5 home runs from the right side of the plate this season.
Ellie De La Cruz?
Yeah, he hit 5 total last year, all of last season from the right side of the plate.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he seems to be swinging the bat much better and looking much better. Even he was good last year, but it was a modest year for him. Looks like he's back.
Seattle is number 8, but they've been playing under where I've had them. They'll probably slip. They just lost 2 out of 3 to Seattle. The Tigers are 9, Pittsburgh 10, San Diego 11, Arizona 12, Boston 13, A's 14, Tampa 15, O's 16. Okay? We'll stop at that. Dodgers will most likely remain at number 1. Atlanta and the Yankees will be 2 and 3. The Cubs, though, are 4-0 this week. They've won 9 in a row, the Cubs.
Yeah, Cubs look really good.
So the Cubs have a chance to move past the Yankees.
Craig Counsell was my pick for manager of the year.
Was he?
League, yeah.
Good, excellent pick. And that's a look at the power rankings, which are powered by each and every week by Warnken Law. If you've been injured in an accident in Baltimore or the Maryland area, the state of Maryland, you want to bring out somebody that can get results. Their phone number is not just a phone number, 443-RESULTS. It's a mission for Warnken Law, WARNKEN, WarnkenLaw.com. Get the best representation you can. All right. Is that going to kind of do it for this week?
I think it does. Those Red Sox, and Lou Merloni's not painting a good picture for Boston, but hopefully the O's still take them seriously. They have to. What do you make of? You think it's a good thing or a bad thing for the Orioles that they had to wait this long before facing their first AL East opponent?
I think I have a feeling they're going to come out tonight at home on a Friday night. There'll probably be a pretty good crowd. Weather's going to be pretty good.
Hockey jersey tomorrow.
Yeah, hockey jersey tomorrow at 4:05. And then Sunday, the Red Sox game is, 1:35?
Yep, 1:35.
And who are they? Tonight is Brian Bayo against Brandon Young. Dean Kramer goes to the IL. Tomorrow,
Rogers Crochet
Ace versus on Ace. Rogers at 4:05. And then Sunday at 1:35, it'll be Connolly Early versus Kyle Bradish. So the Orioles will have their 2 best starters on the mound. And I think it's imperative that they start to win when Rogers and Bradish are pitching, because I don't have a great deal of faith in Chris Bassett, and I don't have a great deal of faith in Shane Baz.
They've won the last, 2-3 Bassett starts, though? So,
I thought he looked horrible the other day in Kansas City.
Yeah, he didn't look great. He got through it though. He's been laboring. He got through it in Cleveland.
All right, that's going to wrap up the show for this Friday.
We'll hear from you Monday, right?
Monday at 5. Hold on, the Orioles are off Monday, right?
Yes, off.
It probably might be 3:30 or 4 o'clock because I think we're doing a family dinner on Monday. So Ross, Luke, and I will be doing something Monday.
Sounds
All
good.
right?
Sounds good. Can't wait.
Glenn
Find those on the Press Box, Facebook, or YouTube.
Glenn will be back today.
Yeah, in about an hour. I think we're going to start around 1:30.
1:30, pre-draft, pre-second round preview.
Post-round 1, yeah.
Yeah,
the whole deal.
Do you think he'll be able to pronounce?
I think he will. I'm not sure he'll be able to get it first try like you did, though.
Yeah. Olai Vivanga Owani.
Nailed it.
Olai Vivanga Owani.
Yoani.
See,
you're hurting yourself when you try to say it twice. Just say it once and be done with it.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You're right. For Griffin Bass, I'm Stan the Fan. We thank you for listening. We thank our sponsors, Live Casino, the Costas Inn, Warnken Law, and several others.
Chris Ayers for this song that you're about to hear to play us out.
Bye for now.
Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Poobah Man and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles is his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite, he's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that hunt. They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls, it's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this is the Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show.